In this video, I'm going to be drawing this detailed country scene, really inspired by the Australian landscape featuring those epic red gums. A dusty country lane winds its way through the landscape, leading the viewer to a farm bathed in afternoon light. This project was also heavily inspired by one of my art heroes, Hans Huyssen. I just love his paintings and his drawings, and I want to talk to you about that here in this video and share with you my entire process, starting with those initial thumbnail sketches leading all the way to that final detailed rendering. This is Sketch Endeavor. Let's get into it. Hi there and welcome to the studio. My name's Andrew. This is the place where we talk about all things to do with drawing and sketching. In my regular painting videos, I share detailed painting demonstrations, and I also have a series called Sketch Zone where I share with you my digital painting process. So if that sounds like you and you're new here, then please consider subscribing, and I hope after today's video I have earned your subscription. So in this video, I want to share with you how I made this drawing, but also share the whole process with those initial thumbnail sketches leading to that final detailed drawing. And I was really inspired, as I mentioned, by my art hero, Hans Huyssen. Now, I've got heaps of his books here in the studio, and I just love his work. His paintings are amazing, but his drawings are just stunning. I mean, look at that. Now, this, of course, is a charcoal drawing, but I really love his placement of the tree. I love that winding road. And so my drawing is really largely based on this one. Of course, I've made a few changes, and there's some things that I'm going to do different with my composition, but I just love his work, and I wanted to do something similar and celebrate those things I loved about that drawing. Now, of course, I've been all over Australia. I've got loads of photographic reference. Here are some of the pictures, and for any project that I'm working on in the studio, whether it's a detailed drawing or a painting, I'm taking hundreds of reference images, building a file out of that inspiration. And so here it's really going to heavily rely on that red gum. So I've got loads of images here to keep me inspired. So I think that just about brings you up to speed. Let's hit that drawing board and bust out some thumbnail sketches. Now, before starting any project, it's really important that I do a couple of little rudimentary sketches first. Now, these don't have to be detailed, and in fact, you might have seen this process before. It's a very simple series of little tiny drawings. I don't spend any more than about 5 minutes on each one of these, and every time I make a new drawing, I'm making changes along the way. Now, my drawing here is pretty close to Hans Huyssen's drawing, and I do want to make my own version of that drawing and have a whole bunch of the things that he put in his piece in this one. However, I don't want it to be exactly the same. With these thumbnail drawings, I'm exploring the idea and I'm opening up my mind to the possibilities. So as I go and progress through this process, I'm asking myself 3 questions. What's working? What's not working? And what if? Now, those 3 questions shape my decision-making process and allow me to explore all of the different possibilities with this composition. I keep what's working, I discard what doesn't work, and then I open up my mind to the what if. What if I shifted this tree? What if I changed the angle of the light? What if I added another tree? Or what if I added a border collie here in the immediate foreground, pushing sheep down this dusty road? The sky is the limit. So normally I'll do about 4 to 6 little thumbnail drawings and then work this up into a bigger sketch where I can really get all of the information down. Once I'm happy with this final design, I might make a couple of character studies. This is where I explore elements in that composition in greater detail and work out the position of branches, the shape of the tree, really nail down the character of the leaves and the bark, even the light angle. The process you're seeing here is hardly new. I've seen a lot of old masters do this where they'll take elements of their compositions and study them in depth, and then that way they have so much more to draw upon when they're at the easel or if they're working this up into a bigger drawing. If you have any questions about the materials I'm using in this demonstration, you'll find them all listed in the description down below. I need a bit more information about some of the supporting elements in the composition, so I knock out a couple more rough sketches here to just get a bit more information down on the trees surrounding the little farm in the distance, as well as the tree that's going to be over on the far left-hand side. Now, this is an extra step that I have recently been adding to some of my painting projects. I really just want to explore this further, and so I'm going to draw this one more time, a bit bigger and a bit more detail before attempting the final graphite rendering. And this is just done in a separate sketchbook with my other sketchbook open right next to it so I can refer to all of the ideas that I've been exploring. Now, you might think I've gone overboard with the drawing process here, but the way I see it is that it's another opportunity for me to practice my sketching technique. I'm developing those hand-eye coordination skills. I'm working more with this idea and exploring it fully, so I make sure I leave no stone unturned. I really want this to communicate what I want it to. I really want to transport the viewer into this place and time and make them feel like they're part of this landscape. So in order to do that, I'm going to need to know about every little element in this composition. I need to feel and develop every little tiny aspect of the scene. For most of this process so far, I've been making these drawings with this solid brass mechanical pencil. It's got a 0.7mm 2B lead in there, and I can make some pretty dark marks. If you want to get your hands on this pencil, I highly recommend checking out Y Studio. They're not a sponsor at all, but I have included a link in the description down below. And if you do end up getting one of these brass pencils, then do me a huge favor and let them know that Tish sent you. Now I'm using a piece of Fabriano sketching paper. This color is called Sand, and I've taped it to a masonite board. I begin working up the drawing with some very fine construction lines first, just enough so I can see them, not so dark that they're going to obscure or obstruct any of the future marks that I want to make. And then I lightly brush in some tone with graphite powder and a paper stump. I work this tone into the background of the drawing where I want some more delicate shades to occur. And then I go about delineating each individual little shape with a mechanical pencil, just defining the edges of these trees and slopes in the background. My goal for this drawing is to communicate a sense of depth. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to pay close attention to my tonal values. Now, Hans Huyssen was a master of tone. He could create such depth in his drawings by observing a few simple laws. Our darkest darks and lightest lights are going to occur in the immediate foreground. And our tonal separation, the difference between light and dark, is going to become diminished. And the values of those shadows are going to be raised. And also, some of those brighter notes are going to be lessened as we move back into the background. So when we're observing this, even though we're only dealing with black and white as such, we can still create an enormous sense of depth within our drawing. So that's my goal here, is to create that depth, even though this is more or less just black and white. This is a process of making marks around the perimeters of shapes and then filling in, slowly but surely. Now I am paying attention here and there to my edges, of course. I'm trying to create roundness in the forms of these massive tree trunks. But I'll move along systematically, looking at my reference material, of course, and getting my cues on the shapes and textures. But once I outline an area, then I'll know, okay, this area's gotta be dark shadow. This area I need to preserve for highlight. Or this area is going to be quite intricate where I have to carve around individual leaves that are catching the light. So working systematically does help, and you might notice here that I'm working in a similar fashion to the way I paint, starting with the background and moving my way forwards. So as I bring the scene forwards, I get progressively darker. The other thing that really helps here in keeping a clean drawing is wearing this cotton glove. There's all sorts of oils and stuff in our skin that can affect the paper, but I also have a bad habit of smudging what I'm working on. So generally when I'm drawing, not only do I work from the background forward, but I also work from the left to the right, generally, just so I don't smudge what I'm working on. But if ever I'm going to get into some trouble, let's say if I was going to draw those boughs up in the top of the composition, to stop me smudging my work, I'll lay down a piece of paper to act as a shield so that I don't completely obliterate all of that hard work that I've poured into elements in the foreground. One thing I love about designing a drawing is this opportunity to use some compositional tricks of light against dark and dark against light, and then play with that contrast, our difference between the light and the dark. This can be really effective in communicating a convincing sense of sunlight pouring into the scene. But observing contrast can really increase the sense of drama overall. And that's another thing that Hans Heisen's scenes have going for him, is that they're very dramatic. Even though they're quite simple in terms of their subject matter, the compositions are incredibly bold. And I think one of the reasons why is because of that relationship between light and dark, creating a really interesting design, but also that strong contrast, the difference between those dark shadows and those brilliant highlights. Now, even though a lot of the works by Hans Heisen that really inspire me were drawn with charcoal, I just love using this mechanical pencil. And I love really sharp detail, especially when it comes to drawing things like leaves and twigs up here in the top of this scene. Now, to get some crisp, sharp highlights, a mechanical eraser can really help. Of course, I preserve those areas and I make sure that I don't add any tone to the places where I want that sunlight to be striking the side of the tree, or this hill, for instance. Now, this allows me that opportunity to come back later with a General's white chalk pencil and apply some of these highlights. So I've got some sheep in the distance that are catching that sun, as well as some blades of grass here, and of course the side of the tree. Now, to get these to stand out and be bright little white spots of light, you have to have that paper completely free of any graphite. So preserving the tone and keeping that area clear is absolutely essential. It's amazing what a little pop of white highlight can do for a drawing. It dramatically increases our range from our lightest lights to our darkest darks. To finish up my drawing, I clean up the edge with a ruler and then erase if I've gone over with any smudges. Now, for a drawing like this, normally I'll frame it, so having a clean edge does help, especially if I'm going to use a matte board. I'm really happy with how this drawing project turned out. It's a nice tribute to Hans Heisen, but it's kind of unique in its own way. I think I'll paint it now. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. And again, if you're new here, I hope you're gonna hit that subscribe button and the like button after watching this. Now, it's been a really long time since I've uploaded an episode of Sketch Endeavor, so it's so good to bring this series back to you, and I look forward to sharing more episodes with you in 2023. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, then you can find the full version right now on my Patreon page. I share loads of exclusive content with my patrons on Patreon, so you can find that by clicking that link in the description down below. Not only will you find the extended version of the demonstration that you just watched, but there's so many exclusive videos, extended demonstrations, Q&As, critique videos, and time lapses that you're not going to see anywhere else. And also access to the exclusive Facebook community, only for my patrons on Patreon. So if that sounds like you, and you want to take your painting and your drawing even further, then I'll see you on Patreon. Click that link in the description down below. Well, I'm going to get out of here and get back to the drawing board. It has been so good to have your company here in the studio. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you again in the next video.